So you've met a couple of first time authors, some of them who had ideas on paper, who didn't even know where to start from. First steps someone should take.
There's a number of there's three different types of people. They are the authors that are naturally good writers. Then there's a second category of authors who are more of visionaries. One of the ways that we help, and this is a concept that has really changed the lives of many authors that we've worked with. You want to become a best-selling author, and we've helped a few people to achieve that status. There's a few fundamentals that are necessary. Number one, you've got to write a good book. You know, that's the basic. The book has got to be good.
Welcome to the King OBED podcast, the podcast that is set for you for your personal development, growth, inspiration, and motivation. And today's episode, we have an exciting guest, Joe Benjamin, with us. Joe is an expert in helping people transform the ideas into best-selling book. And he's helped a lot of people all over the world for them to come up with best-selling books. And he's here to give us the practical steps of how we can write or bring out all the ideas that we have. So if you are an aspiring author or you want to refine your writing process, then you are on the right podcast and we got all the practical tips for you. So Joe, welcome to the King Obed podcast.
Hey, thank you, King Obed. I am really excited to be here today. And congratulations on hosting such a very empowering and inspiring podcast that is helping many people around the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you so much. And yeah, you're also doing very great. I've seen a lot of the things you are doing on board, helping people to come up with their own ideas and shaping them and refining them for it to become a reality, for them to share to the world their stories. So you're also doing amazing, and keep it up.
Thank you so much. I love helping people. You know, I think it's all about if we can find one person to help every day, the world will be a better place. And I think that's why we really we got on well, because we seem to have the same passion, the same desires to see people walking in fullness of purpose and in the fullness of everything that God has called them to be.
Great. Yeah. So, what started all these for you to have the idea or the passion of helping people write best-selling books?
So this whole journey began, a few years ago. Let me go back a few years ago.
Yeah.
Where I also went through my own journey of writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I know ever since I was young, I can go back as young as I was, whatever age, I can't remember, maybe 10, 9, wherever. I've always had a dream of writing my own book and having a book with my name on it.
Okay.
Because I was a reader. I used to read a lot of books.
Wow.
So because of that, I've always had a dream that one day I'm going to write a book. But even back then, I thought I was going to write, one of those like adventure books, like the Hardy Boys, stuff like that. That's what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, of course, I was going to write something inspirational, something spiritual, something to really bring value and change into the lives of people.
Yeah.
So, as I said, the problem that I then had was I did not know where to begin. I knew I had an idea. I knew I wanted to write. I'm now old, I think in my 20s. I want to write. I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. So what I used to do, I used to have a laptop where I'll keep, I'll be typing in my Microsoft Word, books. I had 4 or 5 different books, different titles, and I'll just typing them away and say, one day I'm going to publish these books. Some of them were just one page done. Some were incomplete, but I just had that dream. So then what happened is that then I met somebody who was helping people with proofreading and editing their books and stuff. And he said, if you send me the stuff that you have,
I can help you.
Send it to me and I'll show you what I can do with it.
Yeah.
So I sent them. That was one of the first books that I did. I sent it to him. He proofed it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what? Okay, so this is a real book. It began to look like a real book. So then, of course, I got on to publish my first book,
Wow. Which
which
year
was
was
absolutely,
this?
yeah, it was such a joy to do that.
Which year was this?
This was in around, I think, 2016,
Okay, 2016.
2015,
Okay.
2016. That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So then from that time, I went on to publish a few other books. It was so easy. I'd write and then get somebody to do all the work because I wasn't good with like
Yeah.
editing and typesetting, all those things. I wasn't any good at all. And I believe that's a lesson for somebody right now,
Hmm.
King, that we could talk about. If you have a dream and you have a vision,
Yeah.
don't let what you can't do or you don't know stop you from walking in the fullness of your purpose.
Great. Great. If you have something, if you know you can do something, and there is something you don't know, don't let that thing stop you.
Don't let that thing stop you
Wow.
because, see, the Creator gives us gifts and talents, and that's all He ever does.
Yeah.
He doesn't give you a roadmap or what to do or what to do with them. He just gives you a gift, and it's up to you what you actually do with that gift. So many people get stuck on I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody to help me. I love music, but I just don't know how to start. Listen, if there's somebody out there in the world that is doing what you'd love to do, that means everything is possible for you as well.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So, fast forward a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's going back a few years from now. After I'd successfully self published and got my books out, then I kept sensing and hearing people that kept saying, "Oh, Joe, I want to write a book. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I want to do a book. I don't know where to start."
Mm-hmm.
And, many times people run away from problems, right?
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
But many times there's prosperity in your problems if you are able to pay attention to problems that navigate to you. There's a reason why problems are navigating to you.
To you,
What
they
most
run
people do when
more or less.
problems
They run
happen,
to you. Why problems run to you?
absolutely. For most people, when problems come to them, guess what? They run. They run away. They go under the bed covers.
Yeah.
But when a problem presents itself to you, that means there is a solution within you
Within
that you
you.
need to release. So I felt that God was speaking to us to start helping people. So even before, maybe going back 5 years, 6 years, we'd helped a couple of people to get their books because
Yeah.
I had the knowledge. But I'd never seen that being like a full-time business endeavor, which is now Opulent Books that we now
Yes.
run. Yeah, so I then just said, listen, we'll help people. We're going to start helping people. And that's how we started. We just started helping. And so here's another lesson. It started off just as a passion. I had a passion for books. I
Yeah.
still do. A
Yeah.
passion for books, passion for reading books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then combine that passion with uh, fixing problems. See, there's passion, fixing problems. And then that led me now into this place of purpose where we really are a publishing firm that helps people, particularly Kingdom authors, to get their books out without any overwhelm. So it's just amazing how it's just a dream that you had or a passion, something that you like to do. You can eventually start really growing it. And it's because we didn't run away from those problems. So wherever you are, if any problems present themselves to you, find a way to fix those problems because that is where your prosperity lies.
Wow. So from passion to problem and then to identifying or working in the purpose for which you think God has endowed something in you for you to also give back to the society or to impact human. For how long have you been doing this for people?
So we have been doing this full time. I'll say about a little over 3 years
Okay.
as a full time endeavor.
Wow.
But as I said, in the last 5 years, 4 years, we have been helping people, but one off when they're not formally. But when we saw that opportunity, that's when we really stepped in. And also, something worth noting in part of my story as well,
Yeah.
that before I stepped into what we do, I do a few other things, of course. This is one of the things that we do. I worked full time in dentistry.
Oh.
See, I worked full time in dentistry,
Oh, really?
and again, I was fixing dental problems. Again, it's all about problems. Well, this world is full of problems.
You are
So
problem solver.
that's right. So
Yeah.
if you want to do well,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to be a person that doesn't run away from problems. You identify problems. So
Yeah.
now I believe I'm helping people with their destiny problems. I quit my dentistry job. It was full time. I was in surgery every day, fixing teeth. I quit that. Now I am helping people achieve and reach their destinies, particularly getting their voice and their message out.
Great, 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 great. Helping people to achieve their destiny. How many books have you written, like yourself? How many books have you like penned?
I've written about 7 books at the
Oh,
moment,
great.
7 books, and still ongoing. There's a book that I'm writing at the
Still
moment that's going to be
counting.
coming out soon. It's called The Work Inside. It's taken a little bit longer because it's going to be the best book I've ever done. I just don't want to publish anything, and because I'm,
Yes.
as a writer, you know this. You're a writer, King. That you can easily just put something together and release
Yes.
it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But for this one, I'm just pouring in my soul, because it's life lessons that I've experienced through my life,
Mm-hmm.
the transformation that I've seen in my life, in my
Yeah.
finances, in my business. So really picking those things and laying a framework that one can really use to also bring transformation in their lives. I used to read before, and I used to see the likes of Robin Sharma, and
Yeah.
Robin Sharma would say, I've wrote this book for a year, and I've been thinking, how did it take him a
A
year to
year to
write this
write a
book?
book. Yeah.
And I've been thinking I can write this in 30 days, literally,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's something about when you really take care, write every word, write every thought, and really lay it out. Robin, again, a great inspiration of mine, he goes sometimes to a retreat, 30 days, out in a log cabin, and where there's no noise, no people. No wonder why he's a bestseller, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has quite a number of good books. I read one of his books. He says, "Who will cry when you die?"
Yes, that's a beautiful, a little blue book.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like it. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
loved
read
it.
that as well.
I love it. I love it. So,
Yeah.
you've met a couple of first time authors. Some of them who had ideas on paper, who didn't even know where to start from, and things. Can you take us through what are the first steps someone should take when they decide
Mhm.
that they want to write a book?
Mhm. Right. Okay. So there's a number there's 3 different types of people, three
Okay,
different types of authors.
okay, okay,
So I
okay.
think we start off from there.
Mm-hmm.
They are the authors that are naturally good writers,
Okay,
where if you give them a pen, a computer, they'll type away a whole book. It's coherent, it makes sense,
yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
Then they're good with the writing. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's a second category of authors who are more of visionaries, and they have these ideas locked down within
We did
themselves.
them.
They know exactly what they want to talk about. They know exactly what they want to share,
Yeah,
but sometimes they struggle to express it through typing and writing.
writing. Yeah.
If you give them a microphone, they can speak for an hour on a subject, and it'll be deep, it will be valuable. But
Yeah.
if you if you tell them to write, they won't be able to put anything down to paper.
Oh yeah.
And then the third type of author is the author that even doesn't have a clue at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have a clue of what they want to write, or anything,
Yeah.
but they've published because they've had ghostwriters or somebody to write everything for them.
Everything for them.
Can I tell you a little secret? All of these bestselling books that you buy in all of these
Yeah.
bookshops.
Yeah.
If you see people like a footballer, if you see like Ronaldo
Mm-hmm.
has written a book and it's like a bestseller. I'm not saying this is the case. It's just an example, right?
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
see loads of these either celebrities and things, and they've written a book that is this thick, and you think, how did this person write this book?
Write this book.
Even Harry, Harry wrote this book. Harry, the Prince Harry,
Oh.
the book that he wrote He didn't write it. Somebody wrote it for him. So there's these three categories: those that are able to write, those that have the ideas, and those that have no clue at all. And
Wow.
all of these three can be authors.
Okay.
Can we move a bit deeper now to the next
Yes,
step?
yes, 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 yes.
So here is, again, a secret that most people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a good writer to be an author.
To be an author. Yes.
Author, the word author means, it comes from the word authority,
Authority.
which means, or the word authorize, right? Which basically means, being an author means I've authorized this. I take responsibility for
For
what's in
this.
this. It doesn't
Yes.
say I'm the one that has written everything word for
Everything.
word.
Yeah.
So most people don't understand that they have a story, they have a book within them, but they think, oh, I can't write. So no, most of these famous people have not sat down to write a book at all. They've got good people that have written everything down for them. So if you have an idea, if you have an idea, or you feel like I need to write a book, or maybe somebody said to you, you need to write a book,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing that I would do is have a small notepad, right? It can literally be anything, just a notebook
Yeah.
that you, fresh one, new one that you open, and then, or use your, if you've got a device, a phone or something,
Mm-hmm.
where you begin to make notes of all the ideas that come into your mind
Yes.
regarding that particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this important? Because you cannot just trust your memory to some of the ideas, the concepts, the stories, the examples, the milestones that you want to put in there. You need to really be very careful to put things down, write it down, and save it somewhere safe,
Yeah.
because that stuff will be important when, of course, you begin to write your book. And then the second thing is, out then, look for somebody who is good at what you want to
Do.
do.
Yeah.
Find help. Look for a mentor. Look for a book coach. Look for an author coach. Look for somebody, a publishing company, somebody. Look for Joe Benjamin.
I know, I know, I know. We'll be looking for
Look for
you.
somebody who is good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a teaching point right there.
Yeah.
I wish I would have found my book coach earlier. I would
Earlier.
have written my book years, many, many years ago. Because think about this, I wanted to write ever since I was 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
But it only happened when I got a bit older. I was now in my 20s.
Yeah.
That's when I wrote my first book. But I could have done it even way earlier than that. You see, the problem is that I did not find somebody who could mentor me. And here's a question, King, because I know you do a lot of personal development
Yeah.
and inspirational stuff. That's why I always sideline, and I know your audience
Yeah.
might like this. If you are struggling right now in any arena or area of your life,
Mm-hmm.
it's the problems can be streamlined and pinpointed and diagnosed to three very, very simple things. The first one is, okay, so maybe your problem is, I want to get my book out, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to start a business. I don't know how to do it. I want to do this. I don't know how to do it. Three things. Number one, who is your mentor? Who is mentoring you?
Who is mentoring you?
Who is your example? Because success leaves clues.
Yes.
Every person that has walked the road of success has the ability to encourage you, to give you the information, to give you the impartation,
Mm-hmm.
to give you the inspiration, so that you're able to move forward and do what it is that you are doing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. So if you're struggling and if you have a business and it's not working yet, there's other people doing it and successful, you need to ask yourself, who is teaching me? Who is my teacher? Who is showing me the way? Number
Mm-hmm.
two, this is to do with a very simple thing in life. Anything that you input equals output. Where
Output.
there's little input or no input, expect little or no output.
Output.
So, what action are you taking towards even the things that your mentor is telling you, your book, the things that you're reading in the books?
Yeah.
What action are
Are
you
you taking?
taking? Yeah. And I think we must be always evolving and growing. So, that's the thing with you. If you've got a book idea, what
Mm-hmm.
action are you taking? Have you attended a course, a seminar? Have you been, writing down those little notes of your ideas? All right. So that's taking action. And number three, which is the most important one, is improvement along the way. Most people want to have something that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
They want to have the perfect book, the perfect podcast, the perfect business, the perfect song,
The perfect
the
start.
perfect. That is it. But the perfect YouTube video, it's not going to be perfect at first. So most of the people that I mentor and coach, if I can get them over the edge of getting started, they're good. Most people never get to the finish line because they never get started. So
Yeah.
I think that is the most important thing, to improve on your way. Don't allow your, maybe information or lack of it, of knowledge of something, stop you.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody out there who has got the keys to your next breakthrough. It's your job to find that individual. So same thing with books and authors. Find somebody,
Yeah.
and or find a community. It may be that you need somebody that just keeps you accountable,
Mm-hmm.
or a group of people that you can write together. Find a community, find a place where you can grow. And many times it's easier than you actually think to achieve that thing that you've been thinking about for years.
Wow. So you need to align yourself or identify yourself with the group of people who share your vision, and whatever or wherever you want to go. That's great. So in this journey of writing books, how do you more or less help these aspiring authors, and how do you help them to find and maybe refine the ideas that they come with? Because like you said, there are people who know exactly what they want to talk about, they want to write. Some people are not good writers, but they are good speakers. Some people might have the ideas and everything. How do you help them to shape and refine the ideas? How do you help them?
Yeah, thank you. So I think it just depends on what stage of the author journey you are
You are.
and what specific help you need.
You need,
So
yeah.
you need to be able to tell, the specific help that I need is this. I'm not the kind of, you might think, I'm not the kind of person that's good at writing. I've
Yeah.
got the ideas, I've got them written down, I've got them in my mind. So there's many ways that we help people. One of the ways that we help, and this is a concept that has really changed the lives of many authors that we've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
I say this: don't write your book, speak your
Your
book.
book.
Stop writing, stop trying to write your book,
And speak
speak
it.
your book, right?
Yes.
Why? Because we are speaking every day.
Yeah.
Your mouth is functional. You've got your ideas. It's like when you write, you get writer's block. You write, you getting confused. But if you think about it this way, listen, I am going to focus on speaking about this book.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many ways that we've helped people either jump on Zooms, we'll jump on Zoom sessions, they share with us their story, we ask them questions, we're recording all of this, we're making notes, we do the outline together, or sometimes they send audio voice notes of,
Yeah.
what it is that they want to share. And then my team will go around, get all those audios, get all those things, boom, 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 put them up together, and boom, the book is out. You see? Then for some, perhaps they're good writers, but they just need motivation and encouragement. So I think the issue is, what help do you need? So we
What help?
provide all of that, whether it's just accountability, somebody to bounce off ideas,
Yeah.
or even writing. And then even those people that I told you about
Mm-hmm.
that don't even have a clue. They don't have a clue of what they want to write, but they know they just want to write a book.
They
And
want
I
to
know
write a
we,
book.
we
Yeah.
have a few of those that have come to us. They'll tell me, Joe, I want to write a book. I don't even know what I want to write, but I
Yeah.
just want to write a book. I'll say, don't worry, we've got you. And you can literally get a ghostwriter. Like us, we've got a ghostwriting services. We'll literally write the book from scratch up until it's published. And this is not like just using AI and stuff like that. No. proper writing, because AI, while it's good, I think particularly with books, it produces a lot of regurgitated content and a lot of very poor quality.
Yeah.
That's why even Amazon is kind of like clamping down on that at the moment. So when I say, ghost writing, there's a real human being
Yeah.
with a brain writing something out for you. Yeah.
Wow.
So those are some of the ways. So don't let anything stop you. If you have the idea, you want to write a book. Your job now is to find, how can I get this done, and be in an environment where with other authors or a person that has written, they'll tell you, oh, it's so easy. It can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. And then you will be inspired as well.
Wow. So if I have an idea, or if I'm harboring something, like I want to write a book, I have a book, I think I can write something, I think I have an idea to write a book. When I come to you, or when I walk to you, what are the key stages that we will go through in the process of the book writing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So the key stages are very simple. First, we have the session, which is our first initial session, a welcome session. We'll talk about your ideas, your vision. Who are you? Who is the book for? I'm asking questions like that.
Yeah.
Who is your target audience?
Your target audience.
Who your ideal reader? We need your reader avatar.
Yeah.
What does that person look like?
Yeah.
What are the key things? What is the one message that you want to release in this book? Understand this: every book should have one key message that is expressed in different ways. So we try to pin that down. We talk about your book cover. We talk about your goal in terms of the word count of the book,
Yeah.
when you want it to be out, and things like that. So once we go past that phase, next stage would be setting out the outline. I would never write a book without a plan. Okay.
Yeah.
So the plan for the book is like the blueprint. When you're building a house, you need to have a blueprint.
Yeah.
The architects will draw and they'll say, this is this, this is this. So you know exactly that if I'm going to be talking about this in chapter 1, chapter 9 is going to be about this. So we build that outline together in our second session.
Okay.
Then once we have the outline, which is really, we know, chapter 1 is about this, chapter 2 is about chapter 3, it'll just be then a case of filling the gaps into those chapters.
So more or less now, when you have the skeleton of the book, and you've apportioned maybe various chapters and maybe subheadings or main headings, exactly, once you kickstart, that this goes here, this goes there,
exactly
in that order.
Exactly. Then we're just putting the flesh to the skeleton.
Okay.
You see? So most writers struggle to write because of that. What they do, they just take their pen or their notebook or their computer and just start to type with no direction. Break it. This is the easiest way of writing a book. And listen, if you want to write a book right now and you're thinking of writing this book yourself, you can do this at home. Just follow this model. List out the key milestones that you really want to mention or hit in the book.
Okay.
Yeah. So milestones are like lessons, stories, situations, places that you really want people to learn. I would lay them out like this. And then once we've laid them out, then you set them out as, we can call them chapters or sections of the book.
You spread them across.
You spread them through. Yeah. Yes. So once you spread them through, and I already know, okay, this book has got 11 main things I want to talk about. Maybe if you're writing a memoir, early life or birth, marriage, work life, Already I know in my early birth, I need to put this. In my area of marriage, I need to put this. Work life, I need to put this. And once you've done that, it becomes so easy and you won't miss or forget anything.
Wow.
Yeah. So of course, once that's all done, moving forward, you could either send written information to us. Some people are good writers; they'll be written already. Some are not so good, but they're good at speaking, Zoom, audios. We take those, we turn them into written words.
Okay.
And it is not just a transcript, a verbatim transcript. No, it's somebody has to look at it and it has to read and feel like a good book. All right. So there's human interaction throughout the whole process.
Okay.
Then after that, we go through the process of designing your book cover. Again, in alignment with your dreams and your vision of what you want the cover to be. And after that, it's like just proofreading it, sending it back to the author. Author approves, gets proofread, it gets formatted, and boom, in a short space of time, you'll be published on Amazon and other platforms.
Wow. So it means it just starts with an idea. And once you have the idea, take action, get the right people, create that right environment, meet the right people for them to help you bring your idea into a reality. So it means that regardless of wherever you stand, whether you are a first-time writer, you want to refine your writing process, whatever it is, just find the right person and everything will become a reality. Uh, this
Absolutely.
this is great. This is great. So you see, it's the person might have the idea, he or she might meet a coach or a mentor or whoever it is, but I'm sure along the way there might be challenges, right? So what are some of the common challenges that you've encountered when you started this process with
Yeah.
people have coming face to face, in
Yeah.
contact with people, and then how have you helped them to overcome, or do you help them to overcome some of these challenges or obstacles as first time authors, or
Yeah.
repeating authors as well?
Okay. So yes, here are some of the problems. But let me just again rewind a little bit to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are right. All you need is an idea.
Yeah,
That is it.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
Ideas are never birthed fully formed.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas are developed
Yeah,
with time,
yeah,
with more thought, with action.
yeah,
So most people say, "Oh, I want to write a book about, my divorce, but I don't even know what to put in there.
yeah,
I don't even know what I should write." Don't worry, that idea is enough. You want to write a book about your divorce? Okay, awesome. So through questioning, we can get more information to get the whole thing done. So let's talk about the problems that we face, that some authors face, not us, authors
yeah,
really.
yeah.
Number one is imposter syndrome,
Okay.
where somebody, once they've paid, they've engaged in the process,
Yes.
and they've already done, we've done maybe the introduction, the chapter, then all of a sudden they just start feeling like, is this me? No, it can't be me.
Can't be me.
No,
Can't be.
this book is not me,
It's too
right?
real.
It is real. And I've actually had, I've had people, authors that have stopped halfway. When the book was already completely done, not
Wow.
published, they've just said, "No, don't publish it. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready to get it published."
I don't want to put
Right?
my name out there.
Exactly. But the book
Interesting.
is done. So we've had a few that we've helped all the way, or when we're midway,
Mm-hmm.
and they were maybe meant to be sending us some information on fresh content,
Yeah.
and then they just stop
Stop
sending information.
everything.
Yeah, they just stop. It's almost as though it could be discouragement, but also, you see, there's a bit of work that you need to do in
Yeah.
terms of your contribution and
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yes.
for some, they were like, "Oh, I'm so tired," or for most people, writing a book is such a big thing, which
Yeah.
is going to give you breakthrough in many areas of your life.
Sure. Sure.
So there's also a spiritual element of you just feeling fatigued and tired
Mm-hmm.
because you're on the verge of breakthrough.
A
So you need to
breakthrough.
realize that whenever you are on a project, a business, a mission, a vision, and you start feeling fatigued, you need to identify, is this fatigue a sign that I need to pivot? Or is this fatigue a sign that I'm on the right road and I'm being fought?
Yes.
So my goodness, I see a lot of people that get that imposter syndrome. They think, "Oh, is it me? I can't do this anymore." And then another problem that we experience is people who try to overthinking, huh? Overthinking and overprocessing, whether it's information or it's what the book would be. So they judge the book before the book is out.
Yes. What are people going to say? Who are you
What are
to
people going to
write?
say?
Who are you to write
Yeah,
on this topic?
exactly. What will people say? Or some will say, oh, what if my family reads this book? What will they say?
Yeah.
What if my boss reads this book? What will they
Yeah.
think?
Yes.
That's one problem. But then there's, on the flip side, some will say, who is actually going to read my book? I actually
Yes.
had a lady that we're working with, and then she just said to me, after we'd worked with her,
Mm-hmm.
she was left with one chapter, literally one chapter. I think she was doing a book with 10 chapters, did
Okay.
up to chapter 9, got to chapter 10, and she just says, I've just been thinking, really deeply thinking, who is going to
Going to
read
read
my
my
book?
book. Who is going
and
to
and
read
you know
my
what I
book?
said?
Huh?
I said I can give you an exact number
Of
of the
people
of people that are going to read your
read a
book. Are
book.
you ready for me to share with you that exact number? Here are the numbers. Let me give you the breakdown. Here it is. The the people that are going to read your book, if you don't write it, are exactly zero. I can tell you that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're exactly zero. That number is guaranteed.
Yes.
If you don't write that book, nobody's going to read it.
Nobody's
But
going to
if
read
you write it, then it stands a chance of
being
getting
read
out
by
into the
people.
world.
Yeah.
There's a young man that we helped write his book. He had been in prison, and when he came out and he said, Joe, I want to write a book, but I some lessons I learned when I was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, he didn't know anybody. He didn't have any friends, nothing, literally coming out of prison, and wrote his book. And the first, I think the first week or first few days of him getting that book out, he had over 30 people buying his book.
Wow.
And he was like, wow, okay, where are
Yeah.
all these people coming from? And
Yes.
it goes back again to that story that if you don't release it, no one is going to read it.
If you don't
So
release it, no one is going to read it.
it stands a chance.
Wow. Wow. So people really are overthinking, are over processing, and they think that they have no capacity or authority over a certain kind of topic. So there is no point
Mhm.
for them to even go ahead to write about or on any particular subject matter. That's
Mhm.
that's that's interesting. So
That's the problem.
mhm,
Most people never write because they didn't believe in themselves.
okay.
So here's the answer and the solution for that. Whenever you're faced with doubt, self-doubt,
Mhm.
and you struggle to believe in you,
Yeah.
you need then to find somebody who believes in you.
Okay.
So at least if your mentor, your coach, can stand alongside with you and tell you, listen, we believe in you. I believe in you. That's the motivation that you need so that you are able to move forward. You see,
Okay.
but most people just think, oh, I don't think I can do this. But if you just have somebody, they'll tell you, listen, we can get this done. This book will be out in a month. And you're
That
like, how? How is that going
yes.
to be possible?
That
Because
was
they've
actually
done
my
it
my next
over and over
question.
again.
That was actually my next question with regards to, so how are you able to motivate these first time authors and kind of make sure they are consistent in throughout the writing process? Because like you said, somebody has to write 10 chapters, he writes 9 chapters, and then just left with one chapter, the person wants to just give up on
Give
that
up.
thing. Yes.
Mhm.
And so how are you able to motivate them and for them to also keep that spirit of consistency throughout the writing process?
Yeah. So I believe that one of the jobs that we do
Mm-hmm.
in working with authors is not just the technical aspect of writing,
Of writing.
but also because I believe writing is a journey that really develops an individual. You
Okay.
learn something new about you
Yeah.
that you didn't know
You didn't
before.
know
So
before.
I see publishing a book as part of your personal development. So what I've taken upon myself, and again, years of ministry, years of coaching and counseling people, I have over the years, and I've also done courses. I've got qualifications
Mm-hmm.
for coaching,
Okay.
right? So there's an element of professional coaching and empathy understanding people, in motivation involved in all of that. So we really just have to motivate, inspire that author to keep going and to see the results, and just to also believe in the process, to trust the process, that it's going to lead them to something that is beneficial.
Okay, that's good. So you've helped people to produce best-selling books, even for those who are new authors or those who are um, maybe they've done their first, second, third, some are up there. What elements do you think for the number of years that you've worked as helping people to write their books? What elements do you think that make a book a best-selling book, and
Mhm.
how do you help people to you know
Right,
incorporate those things into it?
right. So uh, if you want to become a best-selling author, and
Yeah.
we've helped a few people to achieve that status, there are a few fundamentals that are necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you've got to write a good book. That's the basic. The book has got to be good.
Has to be
It's
good.
got to be transformational.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you tell that a book is good? How do you tell that a book is transformational? I want you right now to think of one book that you've read
Mm-hmm.
in your life,
Mm-hmm.
that you say, when you put the book down, you say, wow, this book has changed my life, or
Yes.
this book has transformed my thinking, or this book has helped me in this area of my life.
Yeah.
See, that's how you judge the transformational value in a book. So
Yes.
whenever you write, that book has to bring transformation, because those are the books that we share. Those are the books that we tell, oh, you want to learn about this, or read this book. Think about that book that you've read 2 or 3 or 4 times, because you keep learning something new every time you read it, right? That is a key ingredient of a best-selling book, because people are going to talk about it, word of mouth, reviews on Amazon. People are just going to go wild because the book changes lives. Secondly, you need to have a great quality, great book quality. Now, when I talk about great book quality, this includes things like the cover of the book,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. There's a book that one of my mentors recommended. He was doing a video, and then he just spoke and he said, oh, there's one of the books that I read that really, it's a business book. I've
Yeah.
got it here on my shelf.
Yeah.
It's one of the books that I read that really transformed my life, and it transformed my business. And I went on Amazon and I looked at that book and I looked at the cover, and I was like, what? It looks so childish. The cover looks so that's why I'm not going to tell you the name of the book,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I was about asking
you
of it, but
that's right. You'll say I said it's a childish book.
yeah.
Anyway, that book had a really childish cover and still does,
Mhm.
but it contained a lot of value. So
Well,
think about how many people have gone and looked at that cover and thought, this
yeah.
book doesn't look professionally done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the quality has got to be good. Cover, good editing. The grammar must be good. No typos, things like that. Because if you've got typos and things, instead of people enjoying your book, they're busy, proofreading the book while they're reading
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't want that. And then the last thing, which is key, is a solid marketing strategy. And by that I mean, we are not just, most people, King, here's one of the biggest problems that most, authors have faced, and mainly due to their own choosing.
Yeah.
Once the book is out this week, after 1 week, you don't hear anybody talking about the book anymore.
Anymore.
That's it. They're already done. They're not talking about the book. It's done. You see? So you have to, but it's because they don't have a plan
Yeah.
to keep talking about that book in an authentic, natural, and engaging way where you
Way.
don't get tired of doing it. You understand this? So you have to have a good marketing strategy in place, particularly around the launch of the book, because everything has to be coordinated well. And I advocate for this 1 year marketing strategy for a book. Every book that you write, you need to have at least 1 year of solid marketing
Marketing.
of that book so that it can do very well. And once all those things are in place, I'm sure it can be very easily a best-selling book.
Wow. Wow. So for most of the books that we've seen around on Amazon, on other platforms where you go, you say this is a best-selling book, this international best-selling book, this that. These are some of the key points that they follow in making sure that
Right.
yes, because
Yes, yes. So maybe I can. So what I've spoken about is the general.
okay,
There's
yeah,
more detailed
details, yeah,
technical aspects of actually being a bestseller on Amazon. So maybe I'll give you the secret right
okay,
right
all
away.
right,
I'll
all
give you
right,
the secret
okay,
right
okay,
here.
all right,
All right, on how to become a bestseller on Amazon. Very
mm-hmm,
simple.
mm-hmm.
Amazon uses what is called a BSR, which is a book seller rating system.
Okay,
Book seller rating system is is a number that is assigned every book along the the ladder of the book sales orders and success.
mm-hmm,
So uh, so if you go on Amazon, right, and you click on a book right at the bottom, you see it'll say this book is number 1095 out of this out of 20,000 or
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
books are in the category. Yeah. So every category on Amazon has a its own separate BSR, which means if you put your book on Amazon, right, and there's three categories that you choose,
yes,
in order for you to get to number one in that particular category, you need to sell one extra copy more than the person that is on number one.
okay, okay, okay,
So what you need to do is very simple, and I've got a tool that can calculate how many books, it can estimate how many books the number one in that category is selling.
it's selling, yeah,
Yeah. So I can tell you that, okay, in this category, the number one book is selling 20 copies every day.
every day
Uh-huh. So if you want to become number one in that category, you need to sell 21 on that day,
on that day, okay,
or 21 consistently, 21, 22 consistently to stay on number one. So most people don't have that strategy, particularly around the launch, to say that, okay, the book has been released. I've put this in three different categories. In this category, we need to sell 30.
mm-hmm,
In this category, we need to sell 20. In this one, we need to sell 50. And you say, okay, on our launch day, we need to sell 60 books. That instantly takes you to number one in all of those categories.
okay,
And your book will actually show up in Amazon's best-selling pages. And boom, there you become a Amazon bestseller. That's all it is.
oh,
Then,
oh,
of course, if you can then maintain that, even better. But it's enough even if you're able to hit that one day, because really what you want is the prestige of that best-selling title name that you can use for marketing purposes and just for authority reasons. But you don't have to sell, particularly for Amazon bestseller status.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to sell thousands of copies of books to be a bestseller.
Okay. Okay. So
Mm.
with regards to marketing, what is more or less like the best marketing approach in order to sell your books as an author, whether you're a first time or you have a number of books out there? What is the best marketing
Mhm.
approach per the number of
Mhm.
experience you've done days, and then you're in your contact with like new authors, and then returning authors? What's the
Mhm.
best approach?
The best approach for marketing a book is there's a number of approaches, but we can break them down into two main branches.
Okay.
We've got your paid marketing
Mm-hmm.
and your free or organic. Let's call it organic. It's not
Organic.
free.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever free because it's going to cost your time.
Yeah.
But there's paid and then there's organic marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So with paid marketing, there are many paid channels: Facebook ads, Instagram, Amazon ads, YouTube ads. You could run ads, Google, to get people to buy more of your books.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we've got the organic, where you're going to use uh, free content, videos, things like that, word of mouth to get the word out. But what I found to be the most effective is when the author becomes the ambassador of the book. Why am I saying that? Because in this day and age that we're living in,
Mm-hmm.
which is a social media
Yeah.
age, unlike maybe if you went maybe 15 years ago, where you didn't even need to know the author or to know who they are or to connect with them because the internet wasn't as it is right now.
Yeah.
But now, because of social media, people, once they connect with you on TikTok, they like you. They connect with you on Instagram, they like you. They want more from the
Yeah.
author.
Yeah.
That's why the author has to have a face and be the brand ambassador for your book
For the book.
by releasing content around your book and creating a community around the subjects of your book.
Book.
That's by far the best way of selling many copies of your book to become visible. You
Okay.
see, once you become visible and you constantly give value. You see, there's people who once they write a book and they just say, "Oh, buy my book." No, people don't just buy books. I know
Yes.
a book is only £20, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
people nowadays, they don't just buy books.
Yeah.
I want you to think about this. Think about this for a minute. The last book that you bought,
Mm-hmm.
why did you buy it? Just think about that for a moment. Why did you buy it? Who recommended it to you?
Yes. Yes.
Where did you hear that book from?
Yes.
If you are able as an author to think about your own buying habits, it's the same
It's the
for
same
other
thing that the
consumers
other
out there.
person also use when buying yours.
Exactly. Exactly. So it could be word of mouth, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or it could be maybe you're on a podcast and you hear somebody say, "Oh, I read this book and it was so powerful." And then you're like, "Okay, I need to buy that book."
Yeah.
Or you might be on a Zoom, on a TikTok, and the author is either ministering, speaking,
Mm-hmm.
motivating,
Yes.
teaching something, and they say, "Listen, guys, hit the link in my profile to buy my book."
Yes.
Because you know them, you're connected already, it'll be so easy to buy the book. So I think for I think every author needs to have an author platform.
Okay.
It's the easiest way nowadays to build your own community of fans, of raving loyal fans that want from you and want more. So, and this is something that I always encourage people to do way before you even write the book. If you are listening to me right now, you have an idea and a dream to write a book one day,
Mm-hmm.
start building your audience right now. By the time your book comes out, you have an audience that is ready, willing to buy your book as soon as it comes out.
Wow. 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 Yeah. So for me, the last I think the last three books I bought were recommended by a friend. I was having a chat with him, and then he says, "Oh,
Mhm.
I've read these three books." He says, "Oh, if you read the first three chapters alone, it's even enough. You don't need to read the others. You get to know the import of the book and everything." So I just came home and then I ordered and I took
You
the
ordered
picture.
them.
Yes,
Yeah,
I took a picture and I sent it. He said, "Wow, you ordered them?" He said, "Yes, yes." Because once
exactly.
you are talking about it, I know that definitely is a good book. So I also need to know what's inside
Exactly.
there. Then I ordered them. But with respect to the writing process, how do we pay particular attention to feedbacks and to be able to incorporate feedbacks in whether the writing process, whether in our
Mhm.
next writing or whatever it is? How do we accept those feedbacks and how do we deal with them in the incorporation,
Mhm.
yeah, in the process of the writing?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of ways that you can get feedback or information around what you should write and
Yeah,
what you shouldn't write.
yeah,
So, of course, the first thing is if you already have a platform, listen to what your followers and fans are saying,
yeah,
right? Because if you are a maybe a purpose coach, you already help people find their purpose, and maybe your book is to do with purpose discovery.
yeah.
Find out what your audience are asking for. What are the main questions that they're always talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may be that you don't have an audience. So that's where we have to, borrow information from other people's
Other people,
audiences,
yes.
which means if I have a subject, I'll be going to the YouTube videos of the person that's in the same niche as I am.
Yeah.
And I'll be reading all the comments. What are people saying? And then you can even find areas where other people are missing
Okay.
that questions that aren't answered. Go to TikTok. If you go to TikTok, right? These big accounts on TikTok
Yeah.
where they're so busy, and maybe they're talking about, again, let's use purpose discovery uh, as a subject. See, maybe you find a video where Miles Monroe is talking about purpose. John is talking about a purpose, and you look at those and you find out the questions that they're answering. Okay, thank you for the video that you've shared about purpose, but what if this? And many times nobody answers those questions
Yeah.
because these
Yeah.
pages are so
Yeah.
big,
Yeah. It's
right?
so big. Yeah.
Go in there, begin to take all of that information. It's feedback for you.
Wow.
Or go to other books. We're talking about purpose. Find Rick Warren's book on purpose.
Purpose.
Go into the comments, go into the reviews. What are people saying? See, you're doing your own research and seeing, people are asking, okay, Rick Warren talked about this, but what about this? Those are things that you want to really begin to. So there's a lot of ways to get feedback, to improve, also to find content.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, as well, just peer reviews. Let your coach, let somebody
Yeah.
read it, let a colleague read it, unbiased. Let them give you feedback. They'll tell you, okay, when I read this book, these are the 3 questions that I had. What about this? What about that? Answer those, the book will be better.
Okay. Okay. So it's not directly the feedback that is relating to what you have done already. It could be somebody, doing something similar to what you want to do. You can pick their feedbacks or their comments, and then you fine tune them to make it your own work.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. And it becomes your own work because you are the one that has done the research.
yeah.
And more importantly, you are going to put your own spin on whatever it is that you are going to write. So own it.
Okay. Okay. So in the process of, editing the work, editing the book, what are some of the common mistakes to avoid during the editing phase or the process of the editing?
Mhm. Right. During the process of editing, I think one common problem which includes everything is when you do a rushed job
Okay.
with the editing and you don't use professional editors. Is a big problem. Listen, you might say, I've read this book 20 times. I've double checked it. I've checked it with the dictionary. I've done this and this and that. I've used Chat GPT. I've done everything.
I've
Check
done
it.
everything. Yeah.
Listen, nothing beats a professional editor who has gone to school to learn editing,
That's
who
perfect
is
thing.
gifted in doing that,
Mm-hmm.
because they're just professionals. So many people want to cut corners. Even the same thing, King, with the cover designs.
Yeah.
People say, I'm just going to design my own cover and I'm just going to come up with something, on my own computer. No, there are covers that when they are designed, they can cause people to want to buy a book. And covers, just because you think the cover is beautiful to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you're emotional about it. I created it on my computer. I did this and I put the little flowers here and I put this. No, is that a selling cover? There's a reason why people buy things. So my biggest advice would be get a professional to double check.
Okay.
Double check. I've even seen, because I think I've got eyes like that, I've even seen big authors where I've opened their books and I've seen typos. Haven't you?
Yeah. 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 And even
Yeah.
some, like, yes, typing mistakes, a
Yeah.
whole lot of mistakes. And I was like, wow, these are authors that
Yeah.
we
These are like big
yeah,
guys
yeah, yeah. These are big
that use
guys.
big publishing companies.
Yeah.
And you wonder, how did
Yeah.
this book come out? You see? So think about this. If these guys that are paying thousands to their publishers to get a great job done
Mm-hmm.
still comes out with little mistakes,
Mistakes. Yeah.
how about you
A
with
big
no
a
publishing and
beginner.
editing experience?
Yeah. yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, just get it done well, because you see it it because it's done well, it speaks of your excellence, it speaks of your future, it speaks of where you're going. See,
Mm-hmm.
if I found a book, if I found one of TD Jakes' books
Yeah,
and it's got a little typo in it, it doesn't bother me, because I know he's got the money and he's all
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But if I find a typo in your book
In
and
my
you're
book,
still starting out, I'll be like, this
there's not
thing,
a
something's wrong
there's
with
not
it.
a way to go.
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, so you've gone through the process of, you harbor an idea, you meet a coach, or you meet like you meet Joe trying to help you bring out everything, refine it. Now you have it on paper, you get it, you've gone through the editing phase and everything. Now the book is ready to be published. What steps should the author take to get it published? Or what steps do you help people in the people you assist? How do you get to the publishing stage?
Yeah. All right. So the people that we help is very simple. We use the self-publishing model.
Okay.
So basically, what this is, we literally stand alongside you to self-publish your book. By self-publishing, I mean you open your author account on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and the royalties, 100% royalties, come to you,
Okay.
not to us, the publishing services company.
Yeah.
So you see, with others, there's the comparison between
Traditional
self-publishing and traditional publishing.
publishing.
Traditional publishing, the traditional publisher would, even in some cases, own your work. In some
Okay.
cases, if
Okay.
you look at the fine print,
Mm-hmm.
or will have a greater control over your work. But with self-publishing, independent publishing, you literally just you own everything. You see, you will have a contract with Amazon. So we'll help you with the ISBN allocation, making sure everything is done to KDP, which is Amazon standards, and getting the book uploaded and ready to go. So we'll pretty much handle everything, because I believe that whatever we do, people are so overwhelmed with work, with everything. So we try not to bring any overwhelm
Okay.
to the client. So I think it's very important to, again, find people that know what they're doing. I've heard stories, I'm telling you this, of people that have had their KDP accounts closed or shut down permanently by Amazon because of some mistakes that the authors have done during uploading and submitting their books.
Wow.
So it's important to have somebody that has had experience of
Yes.
doing a
Yes.
lot
Yes.
of these things, because this is the world that we live. We are always researching it, we're watching videos about it, we are learning with practical experience. We make sure we don't make any mistakes. And I think that's very important.
Okay. So you help people, or you help the authors to publish their books on Amazon. Which other platforms again?
So Amazon, and Amazon is the biggest
Is the biggest one.
platform in
Okay.
the world.
Yeah.
Of course, over 75% of books in the world
In
are
the world.
sold through Amazon.
Amazon.
So Amazon is the big one,
Mhm.
but then there's also other places, um, Barnes and Noble, Waterstones online, and loads of other book
Platforms.
shops that are there online. Loads, there's a plethora of them. So there's other platforms that we could use, like Ingram Spark, and of course Amazon itself. I think those are the two main places. And Ingram then will we distribute your book to more smaller outlets
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon does that as well. If you opt for expanded, expanded publishing, it can also release your book into the hands of a lot of other smaller bookshops, bookstores as well.
Okay. So aside you bringing your idea into the world, selling your message to people and everything, it's book writing actually financially rewarding?
For the author, you mean?
Yeah, for the author. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is it value
Book
for
writing,
money?
yeah, book writing will do a lot of things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
See, of course, many people focus on the financial gain in
Yeah.
terms of like, okay,
Yeah.
the profit, but profit, I think, is just one of them. Profit is just one of them. Is one of the key things. What I like people to look at your book as a part of your entire ecosystem. Most people just want to focus on book sales. Oh, how much have I made? How much are my royalties?
Yeah.
That's small money. Book money is small money. The big money is is found when the book becomes the entry level into your funnel, into your world, right? Then those people that get into your world, they get into the book. Then there's to be coaching on top of that. They can be courses, video courses, training, more books, one-on-one consulting. There's a whole lot of things or other products. So whenever you write your book, don't just think about the immediate profit that will come from the book. And I know you can get up all of that, which is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's also a potential in you being a person of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
a person of authority, a person that is looked at as an expert
Expect.
in
Yeah.
a particular field. You are respected. If you've got a book, the moment you tell people, I've got a book, they look at you different.
Different. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
written a book?
Yeah.
Hmm. But anybody can write a book. Literally. My son is 9 years old. He wrote a book. Anybody can write a book. It's that easy. So many people put the book writing on that pedestal. Not anymore. Not in 2024. With the technology that we have
Mm-hmm.
and the knowledge that we have, anybody can be an author. Anybody can be an authority, in a particular field.
Wow. So, helping people write their own books, how has it impacted your own life, your own personal journey, and your personal growth and development? How has it helped you as a person?
As a person.
Yeah.
So as a person, of course, like I say, it makes you an authority in a field.
Okay.
You see, if you write a book and that book gets acclaim, and you see, the book can be a business card
Mm-hmm.
for who you are. If somebody reads your book, you don't even have to introduce yourself. They already know who you are. It can be a tool of mentorship. One of the I always love to share the story of one a young man who wanted me to mentor him. And he came to me and says, "Oh, you know, Joe, I want you to mentor me." I said, "Okay, no problem. I'll mentor you." And I said to him, "Have you read my book?" And he said, "No, I haven't read your book." I said, "No, go and read my books first. Go and read the book of the books I've written. Once you read the books and you say, I've finished reading the books, then we can do mentorship,
Can do mentorship. Yeah.
So, because why? The stuff that's in the books gives me the authority, it gives me the information.
Yeah.
You can connect with that. And if you like what's in the book, then you want more. You see? So it really changes your title from just being, you know, King Obed to becoming author King Obed. So it's really life changing, and then it connects you with different people around the world. I don't have time to go into all the different testimonies and things of how at one time my wife met a lady. It was at a ladies' conference. They were reading a book that I wrote, and that lady had got that book from Tesco. In Tesco's, in Tesco where they
Yeah.
put
Yeah. Yeah.
second-hand
Yeah. Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
book was just on the shelf,
Yeah.
and this lady was there, reading this book, acting all spiritual and deep, like she had revelation.
Yeah.
But she was reading this Joe Benjamin's book on prayer. And then my wife says, "Oh, where did you get that book from?" She didn't even know that she was, my
Yeah.
wife. Like, "Oh, I found this book in Tesco." Like, "Do you know that's my husband who wrote that book?" So there's many things that can really, that a book can do for you. If you are stuck, hear me, if you're stuck, in your life right now. And there's one thing that you could do to break the stagnation and the energy around you and to for you to have movement, that would be writing a book. If you've never written a book, I would say write a book, because there's a lot of growth that comes through the process, but also in once the thing is done. Once the book is done and it's out there and you start to hear feedback of people that were impacted, it's life changing.
Well, that was the next thing I was coming. I was about asking that what advice will you give to people who are hesitant in writing their own book? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah,
you,
I've
you
said,
just yeah you just nailed it. And how do people connect to you? Like, where do you meet your clients, or how do your clients meet you? Which platforms are you on that you get connected with clients and stuff? And do you have like a rough figure of the number of people that you've helped throughout this process? I'm sure you'll not be able to recall, maybe.
yeah.
But
So last year we helped over 50 people,
wow.
just last year alone. This year we have been doing almost a book a week. But this week, we've published 3 books. This week.
Oh,
This week just gone,
oh,
we helped 3 authors to get their books out.
wow.
So we're getting busier, and I'm happy. I just love to, because I decided one day that I was going to write many books, but then I've just got so busy that I'm not writing the books myself. I'm helping other people to
People
write
to
their books,
write,
which
yeah,
which is fine,
yeah,
which is absolutely fine. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can of course get in touch, Joe Benjamin, on social media, or you can go to our website, opulentbooks.net, www.opulentbooks.net, and you can get more information about what we can do, what we do, how we can help you, and you can also schedule a consultation to speak to me, share with me your idea, and then I can give you direction, show you which direction you can go to make your book writing dream a reality.
wow, wow, wow. That was very insightful and extensive and very practical, because you are really, really helping people, which I am one of them that you've helped a lot, and I've learned a lot from you, and I still continue to learn a lot from you. I watch your videos every time, I follow you, I share your videos on Facebook and everything, because I see that yes, this is the man, impacting people, impacting generation, making the dreams of people that they think cannot be real become real,
Mhm.
and they see it in their hands. He says your idea gets into your hand and you hold it like something physically. So your guidance is sure to inspire many aspiring writers, and it is very good. Thank you for sharing all this with my audience and with the world as well. I know the people who get to hear this message, see this video, they'll also be willing to bring anything out of them in the form of a book. And I'm sure they will come to Opulent Books for whether they are first book, whether they are second book, or whether they are third book. For sure, I am coming again. So watch out for watch out for me.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much. It was indeed a pleasure and an honor to work with you on your book, and I'm looking forward to the next project that we're going to be working on together.
Sure.
And I just want to encourage everybody, anybody that's watching this today, that just take that step. Take that step. It may be something different out of your comfort zone. You may not even have a clue, but that's not a problem to worry about right now. The problem you need to worry about is, let me connect to somebody. Let me speak to somebody who can help me, somebody who can inspire
Yeah.
me. And that's all it takes. Just finding the right people in the right place, the right time to move you forward to a place where you will then be celebrating next time that we meet. So, again, thank you so much for the opportunity to come and share with your audience. It's
All right.
been amazing to be here today.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience. Thank you, listeners, for listening to the King Obed podcast. And remember to subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you can find us, for us to be on that journey of discovering ourselves, improving ourselves, growing, and making sure that everything that has been endowed in us, we can bring it to bear and impact the next generation. So thank you very much. Until next time, stay inspired, and let's keep striving for our dreams. Bye bye.